most of you know me, but we're going to have a healing yoga class. And for those of you who don't know about healing yoga, it's about really waking up the body and energetically bringing all that stuff that's going on in your mind quietly down into your body. What we're going to use for props today, it's fine if you don't have a mat, a blanket. It would be great to have your bed pillow, and then if you like an eye pillow, I'm just going to use a washcloth. So I'd like you to begin by either lying down or sitting down in a nice quieting position. And take a nice breath in as your shoulders come up to your ears. And a breath out. And knowing that connecting with your breath, you've already begun your practice. I'm going to read Healing by Dana Falls. There is a healing in the laying on of hands, in the letting go of fear, in asking for help, in silence, celebration, prayer. There is a healing in speaking the truth and in keeping still, in seeking sunlight and not shunning struggle. Laughter and the affirmation of wholeness hold their own healing. When the soul dances, when the day begins with delight, when love grows and cannot be contained, when life flows from moment to moment, healing happens in the space between the thoughts and the breath before the first sung note. Healing is a birthright and a grace. When we dare to be open to the unknown, when we extend ourselves in caring, when we welcome in the vast expanse of life, healing comes from the heart and blossoms from the inside out. So taking a moment to let those thoughts settle in the mind and the body. And then when you're ready, begin pressing your heels into the mat. So nice straight legs. I'm going to demonstrate some of the postures. So pushing the legs into the mat, flexing the toes back towards your forehead. Suddenly, you can feel the feet, the thighs, the glutes, and then spreading the fingers wide, straight arms as the arms come up and back, and they stop when they get to your ears or your eyes, and you reach. So it's an active stretch where you can feel from the heels to the fingertips. And as you breathe, perhaps you can feel the side body. And on your next exhale, slowly the arms come back down and the legs relax. And you bend one knee and then the other as you place your feet flat on the mat. Take a nice breath in here, and as you breathe out, drop the thighs in towards the body, holding on to either the shins or the thighs. And think of this as giving yourself a hug. And pause here for one breath and notice if there's an urge to move. And when you begin moving, I'd like you to do so from the inside out. So you're feeling the back body. The back body is leading you, not your mind. So maybe it's big movements and little movements. Slow, steady breath. And then placing your hands on your knees, you decide. The knees can come in opposite directions or around in circles. Focusing on the hip joints. Imagining you're waking them up And going in the other direction. And come into stillness. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, drop your feet onto the mat. Roll your knees to one side and slowly come up to a standing position. Tapping is a very ancient technique. If it weren't raining and we were in the park in Boston, we might see some people tapping and doing qigong, waking up their body. So I'm going to begin by doing a little housekeeping. You feel free to close your eyes or half eyes so that you can really feel your body. We're going to begin with the right fist on the left chest. And feeling that vibration in your body, you can go as hard or as soft as you feel comfortable. And right now you're tapping on your lung meridian and your stomach. And breathing out. And then moving that hand to the left shoulder. And coming down the inside of that left arm, coming all the way down. Eventually clapping your hands. And the top of the hand and the finger and the thumb. And slowly coming up the top of your arm. All the way to your shoulder. And then lifting that left arm and tapping your armpit. This is your heart meridian. What fun to think you're giving your heart a little wake up. And down that left side. And then when you're ready, it's the left fist and the right chest. So even if you've tapped hundreds of times with me in class, try to quiet your mind and come with a beginner's mind, feeling the vibration in your body. And then moving to the right shoulder, and coming down the inside of that right arm. Eventually, making it to your hand, and the top of the hand. So your lung starts in your thumb, so that's why I say don't forget your thumb and finger. Coming up the top of the arm, all the way to the shoulder. Lift the arm and tap the armpit. And now we move to our organs, so it's two hands just below your ribs. We're tapping on our stomach on the left and our liver on the right. If you cup your hands a bit, you can probably tell I'm going quite hard. Very safe way to tap. And then eventually making your way to your kidneys just behind on the ribs. So our kidneys hold fear. So let's all have a few exhales here. And then moving to your tailbone and down the backs of your legs. All the way down. And if you can reach your feet and your toes, really tap those. And slowly coming up the front of your legs. 2 inches below your belly button with either fist or open palms. And perhaps, if you haven't already, closing your eyes and breathing out. So either focusing on your feet, connecting with the earth, or focusing on your second chakra. This powerful, powerful energy force that grounds us through all kinds of ups and downs. So imagine it's getting warmer and stronger. And this is the part of class where I usually turn on some really fun, loud music. So we're going to have to make our own music today. So when you're ready, move to whatever part of your body needs some extra attention. Relax your arms like spaghetti noodles and try to go faster than you're thinking. It's okay to kind of have a good time. Seconds. Keep those arms relaxed. Keep breathing. And slowly stop. And now we're going to do what's called a yin massage. Place your hands in the back of your neck and sweep the hands down the front of the body and then around to the kidneys and the backs of the legs. And the front of the feet and up the front of the legs, and slowly stopping at your second chakra. Closing your eyes and feeling your body. Noticing anything. Notice any tingling, any heat. This is the part of the class where I ask what people need with their body. Because it's so important that we listen to our body. I know that neck and hips and core are usually things that are requested. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. So relax your arms next to your body and notice what happens when you turn the palms out. Very subtle opening of the shoulders and the heart chakra. Little movements make very different happenings in our body. And then slowly allow your straight arms to come up in front of you, palms facing one another. Ram Dass, one of our great teachers, tells us the best way to live your life is to open your heart and quiet your mind. So as you breathe in, allow the palms to come open. Feel the heart and the chest open. And as you breathe out, the arms come together and quiet your mind. Breathe in, open heart. Breathe out, quiet your mind. 2 more, breath in, breath out. Nice and slow together, breath in, feel the heart open, and a breath out as you quiet your mind. Relax your arms next to your body and begin moving your shoulders up and down. And if you can do it so that you're not using your elbows, what often happens is all of a sudden your shoulders turn to cement. And that's a good thing because they're letting go of the tension. So a few more seconds. Breathing out. And then push those shoulders up to your ears. Take a nice breath in and a breath out as the shoulders drop. So often when we talk about our stiff neck, it really begins in the shoulders. So the first thing we're going to do is bind our left arm behind us. Imagine that the top of your head reach for the ceiling. Take a nice breath in, drop the left ear to the left shoulder, and breathe and feel. And then the chin comes up, the head comes up, and it's the right ear to the right shoulder. See if you can feel the stretch down the neck and into the shoulder. As you relax that left arm, allow your chin to drop on your chest, feeling the weight of the head. Little tiny movements like a happy face. And eventually, perhaps, some circles with the head and neck. Doing whatever feels comfortable. A little crunching is fine. I like to smile when it crunches. Any pain will obviously stop. And then switching and going in the other direction. And coming to stillness, it's the right arm binds behind. You begin by dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, to really get the neck loosened up a little bit. Also, we're doing a little trick with the neck. Just when it thinks that's the stretch, we come up and over, and you drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And you might notice one side is very different than the other. And release that right arm, and drop the chin. And begin your movements, whatever worked the last time. Maybe it's staying with a happy face, maybe it's circles. See if you can slow it down and feel and lubricate the top part of the spine, going into the neck, and switching and going in the other direction. And then coming to stillness, take a nice breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out, dropping forward. A generous bend to your knees as you slowly roll it up. So our next thing is going to be a little raucous and a little fun. If you're on a mat, you might want to come onto a floor or your carpet. And actually, if you have socks on, it's even easier. So one of the things is the movement of the hips side to side, but it's also strengthening. So begin going in one direction and then back in the other direction, and then back and back. So we're not going to do this for a full 2 minutes, but if you do, you actually notice it's really kind of a workout too. So 3, 2, and 1, and stop. And slowly coming back onto your mat. We're going to do a little side stretching because it's always good to move your spine in every direction. So bringing your arms a little bit away from the body. Let's begin by coming into Tadasana, lifting your toes, lifting the top of your head, reaching down to the mat. 2 breaths here, turning this into a meditative posture, mountain pose. We look so still from the outside, yet so strong on the inside. And then in your mind's eye, I'd like you to imagine your ribs are lifting a little bit away from your hips as the right palm turns out, the right hand reaches up. And now don't think of side twist. I'd like you to lift with the right and drop with the left. So focusing on the hands, keeping that right foot grounded. If there's any twinges in your back, bring that right arm a little forward in front of your ear. See if you can feel an opening in the front of the hip, in the ribs. And 2 more breaths into that space. The right palm turns out. The right hand comes down. Pause for 1 breath. And when you're ready, the left hand turns out. The left hand floats up. Left fingers reaching up and the right fingers reaching down. Remember about the placement of the arm, always protecting the back. More breaths. Breathing into whatever space you've created. And slowly the left hand comes down. And you close your eyes and feel your body. The one thing we didn't allow for is that I would get a frog in my throat. So I'm going to take a little drink of water and I'll be right back. I happen to love frogs, just not in my throat. So closing your eyes and swinging your arms around your body. Allowing your head to travel with your arms and breathing out. And just notice any tension in the lower part of the spine. And then slowly the arms come up a little higher. And now notice where you feel it in the spine. And a little higher. And then slowly the arms come back down by your side. So we're going to do a little combination of grounding and balancing. So on the in-breath, you're going to reach up, and you're welcome to come up on your tippy toes. And when you breathe out, just really ground. So breath in, a breath in, 3 more, breath in, a breath in, and a breath in, and maybe you hold, and out. And when you're ready, slowly making your way down to your mat. Knees are bent, you're on your back. So, one thing I'm always saying is, find something that you like to do for your core. Because your core and your glutes are 2 of your biggest friends in keeping your body strong. So the knees are bent for starters. And then straighten out the left leg, flex the left toe. And notice what happens if you tuck the chin just a little bit. You can almost feel the spine straighten. And now pressing down with that left heel, really engaging that left leg. And now focusing on your core. Put your fingers just above your hips. So those are your small core muscles. We don't talk about those very much, but they're really important because they support the bigger one. So see if you can do a slight engagement of the small muscles and then engage the big muscles so much that you feel the tailbone lift because the core is so engaged. The left leg is engaged. You can press the palms into the mat and slowly lift that left leg, but just until it's parallel to the right. As you breathe in your mind's eye, you're imagining that you're pulling the top of the leg into the body, and as you're breathing out, you're pushing out through that heel. And the more you engage your core, the lighter the leg becomes. So see if you can hold for one more breath. And then one breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly lowering that left leg. Bend the left knee and drop both thighs in towards your body. Maybe rolling side to side. Just enough to relax the belly. And then dropping the feet. Straightening that right leg. Flexing the toe, really pressing down. And see if you can lengthen that leg enough that you feel an opening in the front of the hip. Pressing down with the palms, making sure the spine is nice and straight. Engage the small muscles of the core and then the big muscles. And often I'm telling you to press your lower back into the mat. But in this case, if you can, I want you to keep that tiny little natural arch in the back. Engage the core as the leg floats up. And then a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, you're pushing out for the heel. Are your glutes engaged? Is your core engaged? Are you in your body? A nice breath in, and as you breathe out, the right leg lowers. And then bend that right knee. So in the beginning of class, when we turned our palms out, I talked about small movements in the body. So here's something I'd like you to experience. As you drop your thighs in towards your body, keep your thighs as close together as you can. And either grabbing onto the shins or the backs of the thighs. The chin is tucked. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, bring some tension into your arms. And notice where you feel the stretch. Release the tension in the arms as the legs come away and the legs spread wide. And now, once again, drop the thighs in. You can either grab the backs of the thighs or the shins. And on your next exhale, tense the arms and see where you feel it. Release the hands, drop the feet on the mat. The right ankle comes onto the left knee. If you care to, you can bring your right hand up and just a little bit of pressure on that right knee. Just enough that you bring an awareness into that right hip. And then slowly start rolling side to side. And maybe you start out really small. And then eventually, maybe it gets bigger. And you're listening to your body. Maybe your foot or your knee never reach the floor. And now, whatever side you're on, I'd like you to pause. It can either be the foot on the floor, near the floor, or the knee. And 2 breaths here, and notice what you feel. And then coming back through center, dropping in the other direction and pausing. Notice what you feel. Coming back to center, if you care to, you can thread the needle and grab that left thigh. And I'd like you to try to keep your upper body relaxed. Keep that right foot flexed. And now, just as we did when we were stretching both legs, if you care to, on an exhale, give a little tug with the arms and see how that feels. And then relax the arms. Slowly, the hands release, the left foot drops, the right foot drops, and the arms relax. One breath here, just noticing one side versus the other. And then it's the left ankle on the right knee. If you care to, you can bring that left hand and just, it's really not to force anything, it's just to bring an awareness into the hip joint. Releasing the hand on to the mat or floor. Begin your slow rolling side to side. I'm actually having fun because I never get to do this in class. I'm always walking around. I still miss you all though. And then whatever side you're on, I'd like you to pause. Really trying to keep your shoulders on the mat. and then slowly coming up and dropping in the opposite direction. And coming back to center, and then if you care to thread the needle, grabbing that right thigh. And once again, if you care to bring a little bit of tension into the arms and increase the stretch, and then maybe you relax, trying to keep the upper body as relaxed as possible. The hands release, the right foot drops, and the left foot drops. And now we're going to move our feet so they're parallel to the outside of the mat. And if you care to keep your eyes open for a minute, if you haven't done it this way, feel free. Instead of dropping both knees, we're going to keep the left knee pointed up towards the ceiling. And we're going to drop that right knee inward towards the left knee and then back up. So kind of imagining, and I'm sorry, I forgot to cue one more thing. Try it by keeping your right hip on the mat. So once again, this is what happens with little tiny changes to the body, because our body wants to jump in and do something right. So keeping the right hip down and see how that feels. And now the next couple ones you do, allow the right hip to come up as much as you like and see how that feels. And after you've done a few to kind of limber up the hip, feel free to drop that knee and hold. And there's no forcing, you're just allowing gravity. And slowly back up. And now keeping the right knee pointed up towards the ceiling and keeping the left hip down on the mat. Begin dropping the left knee in and up and in and up. If your right knee starts moving, because I'm not going to be walking around holding it steady for you, feel free to use a hand to keep that leg steady if you need. And now as you drop it, allow the left hip to come up as much as you like. Oh, feel where you feel that stretch. A few movements. And then dropping and holding. And slowly back up. So walking your feet back so they're lined up with your hips, and walking your heels towards your fingertips and your fingertips towards your heels. I'd like you to engage the core as much as you can, and now really engage your glutes. If you think that your glutes aren't engaged, feel free to give them a little poke and make sure they're really engaged. And then pushing into the feet and pushing into the hands. It's a beginner bridge. It's a stretch on the back. And here's one clue. If you get a cramp in your leg, it's because you're not engaging your glutes. So give them another poke, wake them up. Work those glutes, work the core. Keeping your chin centered on your chest. And now, as you come down, you have two options. You can just breathe out and drop your hips. Or you can try to come down as slowly as you can, seeing if you can bring a little bit of opening to that upper back. And relaxing the hips and rolling to one side and coming up and grabbing your pillow if you care to, and then also grabbing your blanket, and your washcloth can be for your eye pillow. So the good thing about having something under your knees, it's not all about your legs. It actually brings some relaxation to your lower back. And your blanket can be wherever you like. And if you have an eye pillow, great. And if not, the washcloth will do. So now I'd like you to see if you can possibly be maybe 5% more comfortable. Maybe it means a little shifting. Maybe it means turning the palms up and letting the shoulders relax down. Welcoming the touch of air and aroma inside the nostrils. Relax the eyes from the world of looking and seeing. Focusing on your breath, your natural breath. Counting backwards from 3. And now feel the whole body, feel the whole body at once. Each sensation melting into a mass of sensation. Let your awareness sink even deeper. Feel the skin and go beneath the skin, feeling the tissues. And now go deeper still and allow the bones to sigh a little. Can you go even deeper still and feel the energy underneath these sensations? And because I'm not sure when we're going to run out of time, I'm going to just keep talking until we do. And I'd like you to enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you can. Feeling with each exhale, the body grows heavier. Relaxing into the earth, relaxing into peace. Trusting in your breath, trusting in your body to heal and release. And enjoying your rest for as long